Zia's AI features for emails and calls, because this session is going to be entirely about that. Arguably, it's one of the most important set of features because it'll help you improve your efficiency by a lot. So these are pretty easy to understand features. It's not rocket science by any means, but they're very important and they do make quite the difference in your day to day. So that's why we have this session, and we will go through demos as well. So we will look at the configuration as well. We're going to get started on our presentation now. So this presentation is going to work a little differently than the one before, for those of you who did join for the first session. With this session, what we're going to do is we will look at the feature on, a presentation on a deck, and then immediately look at how it works on a CRM account, so that you really know how to use the feature and you can get started. If you'd like, all of you can have your accounts open on a different tab as well, so that you can follow along, if that helps. And we'll get right into it. This entire session focuses on smarter communication, and Zia is going to be enabling that for you within your CRM account. Why is smarter communication important? Well, the whole idea of using a CRM is to improve efficiency. When you go from spreadsheets to a CRM, you're hoping to improve efficiency and you're hoping to remove a little bit of the human error that you might encounter with sheets. How can you improve that further? Well, you can improve that by reducing the time it takes and the thought process behind communication. You can make it better. You can focus on what's important, especially when you have high volume of leads coming in, a lot of people to talk to. Who do you focus on? How do you know what leads are going to get you better results in the amount of time you're investing in them? All of that is what we're going to be focusing on today. So when it comes to communication, Zia is going to make everything a lot better for you. And the basic two parts of communication are emails and calls. So everything we're dealing with today is simply emails and calls. So we're going to figure out how you can act faster on all of these channels and how you can do it. So let's start with how to set it up. Configuration. To start with email and call intelligence, you will need to enable these features on your CRM account. The availability of the features we'll discuss at a later point, but if you have the availability within your account, you can go into your settings. I'm just going to show you this right away. You can pull up communication and you can click on any of this. For now, I'll show you this. You click on email intelligence, and this toggle here enables all the features under it. You can further toggle on and off any of these features based on your need, but just turning this on gives you access to all of the email intelligence. Similarly, you have a toggle for call transcripts. This one is enabled through Zoho Voice. And again, just a toggle. And the same for call intelligence. Here again, you have the ability to toggle on and off each of these features. And the main toggle here. Once all of this is on, you should be good to go. And you should be able to see all of the features running on your account. So that's with setup. Once you set this up, you get started on how it works. So now we have email intelligence. That's what we're going to be looking at first. Zia's email intelligence capabilities give you a lot of features. The basic ones like summarization or helping you write, of course, and translation if you have leads from other countries. All of that. And apart from that, you have a little more in-depth features that let you decide what leads to prioritize. That could be based on the intent that the lead is writing you an email with, or it could be based on their emotion towards your email thread, whether they are frustrated, whether they're happy about your communication. And if you want to make it even simpler, just based on whether your lead is happy or not happy with the interactions you've had so far. So you can prioritize all of the communication based on these things. So to start with, we'll have email sentiment and emotion. Sentiment and emotion sound similar, but they're a little different. Sentiment basically classifies all of your leads based on their email communication as positive, negative, or neutral. And you can decide what you need to be focusing on. You can view these sentiments on your email list view like this, or when you open up your lead, you can view it there as well. You can filter your records based on the sentiment as well, and only focus on maybe giving priority to people who seem a little upset, deal with them first, and then move on to the people that are happy, or the other way around, whichever suits you better. You also have the ability to know when people have had consecutive negative sentiments towards your email. So if you've had a lead that has had an unhappy experience more than once, you will get an alert for that as well. So this gives you a really good bird's eye view of how your conversation has been going with your lead. So that's how this is going to help you. Let's just look at that on the account as well. These are conversations I've had with leads. I'll go right to the email section right here. So in the last email, you see that this lead has had a negative sentiment towards the conversation that I've had with them. And in emotion, you can see that they are frustrated. Now, emotions are not as simple as positive, negative, or neutral. This could be happy, enthusiastic. They could feel gratitude, trust, confusion, discontentment, frustration, or even just feel neutral. You can see that this lead started off feeling a lot of gratitude towards us and then ended up in frustration. I can actually show you what this conversation was. So there was a demo scheduled for this lead, and for some reason, the agent that was supposed to take on the demo didn't join the demo. So the lead has expressed their disappointment and their frustration in this email, which is why you see the frustration, and you also see the negative sentiment right here. So this is how your sentiment and emotion are going to come into play. And right next to sentiment and emotion, you would have seen in our demo account, you have email intent. This shows you the intention behind the email that was sent to you. Whether the customer is talking about a complaint that they have, or whether they have asked you something about your product, whatever it is, you'll find the intent also here. Again, these three will be visible to you within the email itself, or it will be visible to you here. Even if you open your emails from this tab right here, you'll find all the sentiments right there. And you'll also get it on your notification as well. So you'll find these everywhere. You'll find the sentiment everywhere, and you'll find your emotion and intent in these two places. So that is going to be helping you with responding accurately based on how the customer is feeling. Now, let's say, let me just go into the settings for intent so you can get a better idea. Yes. So these are the intents that come with the system. These are what we've programmed already. If the customer shows an intention to purchase your product, that will be notified. If they have a complaint, you get that too. If they have a query regarding your features, the pricing, or anything else, if there is a query in the email, you will get your query alert and a request. These are the ones that are already there. You also have the option of creating a custom intent. Now, the custom intent is going to allow you to really focus on what's important to your business. There might be things that your business needs. For example, if you want an alert for when your competitors are mentioned, or if you have certain products and quotations and things like that that you want to focus on, you could create an intent based on your need. In this example here, you can see that an intent has been created for products. This one has been created without sample data. That means that the person who created this intent did not have any set of emails that the system could work with to understand how the intent works. So you could, if you don't have any email data to start with, you want to start from scratch, you go with without sample data. If you do have emails, you need a minimum of 25 samples. In that case, you go with a sample data method and you upload your sample data. Now, we can just create a quick custom intent so you get the idea. I'm going to create one for competitor comparison. Okay, I'll just name it this. Okay, this is, I want to know when my leads mention my competitors. I'm going to do this without sample data. Now, I do not have any competitors, so I'm just going to name some random competitors for now. So I've added these, and then I just go ahead with save. Now, suppose I have some sample data. Again, a minimum of 25 samples. I would click this option, and then you hit save. It'll take a while to analyze the data you have, but once you've created it, anytime that a lead mentions any of these keywords, I get the intent competitor. So that will appear the same way that the other intents appeared on my mail chain so far. You'll get the alert here, right? So that is how custom intents work. And then we have activity extraction. This is quite crucial. In case you've missed something in your email chain, activity extraction is going to make sure that you stay on top of your tasks. So anytime you mention an activity such as scheduling a meeting, now in this email, I did mention scheduling a call. So that activity was extracted right here. And I see call tomorrow at 6 p.m. So activity extraction keeps those alerts there for you. And then, of course, we have the most important thing. This email chain is smaller, but let's say you've had tens of conversations with the same lead and you just want to get a quick update on it so you can proceed. You hit view summary and you get a quick summary. Now, the summary page gives you the summary of your last email. And it also gives you the entire summary of the mail thread. So everything that happened since the lead and the agent started their conversation is available to you in a very small paragraph. So you can look at this and respond. You can go and look at the whole entire email from here, and you can also reply right off of this little bar. And when I click into respond, you can also see the emotion appearing on the top. So it gives you multiple alerts so that you are always responding the right way. So that's how summarization works. And then we have subject line suggestions in email creation. When you're typing in your email, you should get a little icon that shows you a suggested subject line. And you can either choose to go with that or type in your own subject line. This just makes it a little easier for you to send in your emails. And let's say I want to reply to this email and I don't know what to say. So I'm just going to click into Zia here and ask Zia to write this email. Please create the ideal response to the email. There you go. In just a second, I have an email that I can just put right here. So now you have the subject line as well. And I can hit send. I did not have to do anything much there. Everything was done by the system itself. And that just makes everything a lot easier. Now, let's say you're conversing with a lead from another country and you need to translate whatever conversations you're having. You can always sell better if you're speaking to them in their native language. So that is why we have email translation built right into your console. For this, again, I'll pull up a lead that we have from another country. Here in this mail chain, I've been conversing with this client. Although I did start the email in English. This client has later switched to French. So I want to respond to this client also in French. This is the response they've sent to me. For me to understand this, I can hit translate right here. And I can see the message in English. Now, if I were to reply to this client, would you be available and then I'm just gonna, I don't want all of this. So once I've written down my message, I hit translate. And that's about it. We have the email in French, and then I can hit send. You may also have noticed that even in the email that this lead has sent me, it's in French, but the system has still picked up on her enthusiasm. It has picked up on the fact that she's given us a query and that she's having a positive sentiment towards this conversation. So sentiment, intent, and emotion work on other languages too. It works with French and a few other languages, which we will discuss towards the end. So translation is really going to help you sell across borders. And with that, we come to the end of everything emails. As you can see, all of these features are set to help you work faster with emails. And once you've got the system running and you know the ins and the outs, it's really going to make a big difference to your efficiency. Then we come to call intelligence. Calls are great and easy to handle when it's just a few. When it's 10 or 20 calls, it's easier to deal with. But if you have a higher volume, you'd need a little more help. So similar to emails, you'll have the ability to identify intent. You'll have the ability to see summaries of calls and of course, sentiment. Apart from that, you can also have the transcriptions of all your calls with your leads. We'll just see how that works. Again, just to start things off, you will need to turn on these features. You go back into your settings, navigate to communication within Zia, and turn on call transcription. Similarly, you will have to turn on call intelligence as well. We had looked at how to do this right at the start. So how this works is I have enabled call transcription for these two modules. You see this right here. Within leads and customers, any calls I make will get transcribed. And I have set a maximum call duration as well. You can set it to unlimited if you prefer that. And I want to transcribe both incoming and outgoing calls. These can all be configured based on your needs. I want to have this for all my users, for leads and customers, all my calls, and for a maximum duration of 5 minutes. So this setting you'll find within communication. Now, the way this works is if I'm within my leads module, I can pick up a lead that I want to call and just hit this call button. I have Zoho voice enabled, and that's how I make calls off of this account. So whenever I hit this call button and speak to a lead, that call gets transcribed and analyzed. So I did have a couple of calls with this lead right here. You can see there were a couple of outgoing calls. So I'm just going to pull up a bit of a lengthy call just so you can get a real feel for the feature. The other calls were a little shorter. And let me go into calls instead. Okay. So I had an outbound call with this particular lead. I have the voice recording of the call right here in case I want to listen to it again. And I have the transcription right here. This was auto-generated a few minutes after the call. The entire conversation between this lead and the agent has been recorded. Here you can see that the agent as well as the lead have spoken about a certain key phrases. All of those are recorded here. So any dates we mentioned, we talked about Wednesday at 5 p.m. for a demo. So that's been noted as well. We can see all of the highlights right here. I can choose not to view certain highlights. Everything I need is right here. So I can also download this call transcription if need be for further analysis. But here's the nifty part. Let's say I've had a lot of calls with this person and I want to know what happened in these calls. I don't have the time to go through the transcript. You'll find all the info you need right here under Call Intelligence. So under Call Intelligence, you'll find that this lead had a neutral response. This was just a demo call, so they had a neutral response. They did have a complaint, which you may have seen in the call transcript as well. The lead explained that he was unsure if the features of the product would suit their needs. So that is the complaint that has been registered here, and a little bit of frustration because the lead felt like the product lacked features. So the agent has still gone ahead and requested that they have a demo to explain the needs better. So all of that is in the summary. You can take quick actions based on that. I can send an email from here. I can schedule a meet and everything else. Apart from these basic pieces of information, you also have a customer satisfaction score and an agent politeness score based on the call that was had. So that's how Call Intelligence is going to help you deal with everything. Now, the most important part is this transcript. The analysis happens based on this transcript as well. So this is really what's going to make all the difference. If you would like to download all of this, you can do that as well. And all of this info, again, will be captured in your lead timelines. You can see all the calls made and all of the tasks that have been completed in terms of communication with each lead. So that's how all of the information with regards to communication works. Again, you'll find all of this within the lead, within your emails tab, within your notifications, and within your Zia notifications. So any activities you'll find right here. And that brings us to the end of the presentation. As I said, these are all pretty simple features, but they make all the difference when put together and executed really well. So that was the focus of this demo, to help you get started on these features so that you can all experience better, easier working days. So that's about it. We can move into the feature availability part, because this is a question that comes up quite frequently. We have a little sheet right here. If you would like to see the feature availability, it's right here on the screen. You can just take a screenshot right away. That wraps up our presentation, and we can move into the Q&A.